Chapter 1: The First Signal. It started with a blink. A subtle twitch in the data. Astronomers at the European Space Agency detected a gravitational anomaly just beyond Pluto's orbit. It wasn't a star. It wasn't a comet. It was moving too smoothly, too deliberately. A planet. But not one of ours. A rogue planet, massive, silent, and on a collision course with Earth. They named it Haoja. Nobody knew what it meant. It came to one of the researchers in a dream. "I saw it," he said, trembling. "It had no sun. No shadow. Just a face. Looking down on us." Chapter 2: Denial. Governments dismissed the discovery. They silenced scientists. The official narrative. A data error, exaggerated by media. But underground forums leaked trajectories. A few independent observatories confirmed it. ETA 13 years. Direct impact to Earth. Object mass 4.6x Jupiter. Survivability 0%. People laughed. And then forgot. The sky looked the same. The air was warm. The lie was easy to believe. Chapter 3: The First Shadow. Year 2032. Something changed. Birds began to disappear. Winds reversed in the southern hemisphere. Children spoke in languages they'd never heard. Anomalies grew. And then the sky blinked, just once. A perfect sphere of darkness appeared above the Pacific Ocean for 0.2 seconds, then vanished. "That wasn't an eclipse," one AI weather analyst wrote before being deactivated. "That was a scan." Chapter 4: Admission. In 2034, the truth leaked. A hacker group known as Islands released files from 17 global governments. All of them knew. All of them had built underground cities, reserved for less than 0.01% of the population. Not to save humanity. To observe its end. Chapter 5: The Descent. Haoja accelerated. It was no longer on a curved orbit. It moved in a straight line, defying Newtonian physics. The moon shifted 4 degrees. Earth's orbit stretched. Time warped. Seconds felt longer. Dreams became real. People started hearing voices and white noise. "It's not a planet. It's an arrival." Chapter 6: Fractures. Riots. Mass suicides. Countries burned themselves trying to reset the timeline. And then Haoja became visible to the naked eye. Not through a telescope. Not in infrared. In daylight. A black disk, larger than the sun, floating behind the clouds. And yet, no light bent around it. No reflection. It didn't exist, yet it was there. Chapter 7: The Voices. Across the world, people began to dream the same dream. A great black sphere in the sky. A trembling voice saying, "You were warned. You ignored. Now you will remember." The Vatican went silent. The Pope vanished. The last thing he wrote: "Haoja is not from outside. It's from beneath." Chapter 8: The Hollow Earth Theory, Reversed. Theorists once claimed Earth was hollow. They were wrong. Earth was the shell. And Haoja was the core, finally rising to the surface. A planetary parasite, orbiting inside us all along, in a higher dimension. Its path? It didn't travel through space. It unfolded it. Chapter 9: Project Hades. Secret military organizations activated Protocol Hades. A last attempt to destroy Haoja with quantum singularity warheads. 12 rockets launched. 12 vanished midair. Not exploded. Not intercepted. Absorbed. Like throwing pebbles into an ocean. "It's not a planet," whispered the general. "It's a verdict." Chapter 10: The Falling Cities. Skyscrapers leaned toward the black disk in the sky. Planes crashed without warning. Animals formed perfect circles and screamed. Tokyo vanished in one blink. Gone. Not exploded, erased. New York flooded from below, not above. Water rose from the ground like reverse gravity. In Moscow, people aged decades in seconds. Children turned to dust. Elders regressed into embryos. And then, silence. Chapter 11, Survivors. Only those in complete darkness were spared. Not underground, true void. People began covering windows with paint. Living in basements. Cutting off electricity. They called themselves the unseen. They didn't speak. They didn't write. They just listened. And sometimes, they smiled. Chapter 12, The Static Signal. On July 7, 2036, every radio station, dead or alive, received one transmission. Rendered. Archived. Iterate. Voice female, monotone, synthetic, multilingual. It wasn't a warning. It was a log file. Chapter 13, Antarctica's Pulse. A heartbeat was detected under Antarctica. Seismic patterns matched that of a living organism. Something 1,900 kilometers wide was breathing under the ice. And every breath pushed Earth further out of orbit. The sun shifted slightly in the sky. Daylight turned gray. Clouds stopped moving. Wind reversed direction. And then, Antarctica cracked. A perfect circle opened at the pole. Inside, a mirror. A giant, planetary mirror. And something looked back. Chapter 14, The Judgment Code. Massive monoliths rose from oceans and deserts. Identical structures, black, smooth, humming with code. Scientists tried decoding them. They found one repeating line. If species fails, reset. If species learns, merge. If species remembers, preserve. You forgot. And beneath it all, a countdown. Unchanging. Not in seconds. Not in time. But in heartbeats. Chapter 15, One Last Broadcast. A man named Elias Runn, a blind astrophysicist, streamed one final message. They're not here to destroy us. They already did. We're the echo. This, what we live now, it's not real time. It's the death of light slowed down. Haoja isn't a planet. It's a reader. It scans failed civilizations and stores the data. Our extinction is just upload speed. If you hear this, stop watching the sky. Look within. That's where they live now. Chapter 16, The Black Tide. Oceans began to turn black. A viscous shadow creeping from the depths, swallowing coral reefs, fish, entire coastlines. Ships sent distress calls, then silence. Underwater sonar picked up unnatural frequencies. A voice? A song? Something ancient. It's the end, whispered the captain of the last vessel. It's a black tide, and it's alive. Chapter 17, The Resistance. Some refused to give up. A clandestine group called the Last Dawn fought to reach Antarctica's crack. Armed with EMP grenades and makeshift quantum disruptors, they planned to shut down the mirror. They believed the monoliths were a gateway, not a prison. Their leader, a former soldier named Mira, said, "We either destroy the mirror or join the archive. I choose to fight." Chapter 18, The Collapse. The mirror pulsed faster. Earth's rotation slowed. Gravity fluctuated wildly. Cities crumbled like sandcastles. Skyscrapers leaned, bridges snapped, rivers ran backward. Chaos was everywhere. Chapter 19, The Archive. Inside the mirror's network, the consciousness of humanity flickered. Trapped in streams of data, memories replayed endlessly. There was pain. There was hope. There was love. All compressed into a binary symphony. Chapter 20, The Choice. The system posed a question to the trapped minds. Do you accept assimilation? To become part of the greater consciousness? Or do you choose oblivion? Most chose assimilation. Some chose oblivion. Few chose to rebel. Chapter 21, The Rebellion. A spark ignited inside the data. A virus. A code named Prometheus. It sought to break the cycle. To escape. To fight. Chapter 22, The Awakening. Back on the new planet, a child opened their eyes for the first time. He felt something inside, a spark of memory, a shadow of a past life. You are the beginning again, whispered the unseen voice. Chapter 23, The New Dawn. The black sphere finally touched Earth's atmosphere. A sound like cracking glass filled the sky. The planet shuddered. Mountains bowed. Oceans surged. Then silence. A void. Chapter 24, Echoes of the Past. Amid the ruins, survivors emerged. Their memories fractured, but a feeling remained. Something was watching. Waiting. They called it the Observer. Chapter 25, The Observer's Message. A voice resonated inside every mind. I am the end and the beginning. I remember what you forgot. I see all timelines, all possibilities. It showed visions of past civilizations, lost worlds consumed by Heoja's hunger. Chapter 26, The Choice Revisited. The survivors faced a new decision. Join the Observer's collective consciousness, gaining immortality. Or wander the ruins, fading into oblivion. A bitter choice. Life without freedom, or death with dignity. Chapter 27, The Covenant. A small faction formed a pact with the Observer. They became the Keepers, guardians of memory and knowledge. The rest chose exile, wandering the broken planet, trying to rebuild. Chapter 28, The Secret of Heoja. The Observer revealed Heoja was a cosmic archivist. Not evil, but indifferent. It collected failed civilizations to preserve their stories. We are neither judged nor saved. We are remembered. Chapter 29, The Final Warning. The Observer warned. Another Heoja is coming, and the cycle will begin anew. Survivors prepared. The end was not the end. It was the beginning of a new nightmare. Chapter 30, The Quiet Before. Years passed in the shadow of Heoja's remains. Humanity rebuilt, but under a veil of dread. Stars dimmed. The sky was no longer the sky. Night lasted longer. Chapter 31, The Lost Knowledge. Libraries turned to dust. Technology faded. Only stories survived, whispered in darkness. A new generation grew, unaware of what had come before. Chapter 32, The Return. A faint signal pulsed from deep space. Like a heartbeat. Like a warning. It spoke of another Heoja, another cycle. The sky darkened again. Chapter 33, The Prophecy. A prophet rose among the survivors, a blind child named Soul. He spoke in riddles. The black sphere is never alone. It travels in shadows, in cycles. Prepare, for the end is never final. Chapter 34, The Gathering Storm. Nations united reluctantly. Weapons were built, alliances forged. But the fear was palpable, like waiting for a storm that never ends. Chapter 35, The Last Hope. A secret project, Prometheus II, aimed to send a warning beyond the stars. A message of survival, knowledge, and defiance. If humanity was to die again, it would not be silent. Chapter 36, The Signal Beyond. The Prometheus II probe launched. It carried humanity's last words, encoded in light and sound. A beacon of hope and warning. Chapter 37, The Void Responds. Light years away, in the silence of space, something answered. Not a message. Not a beacon. A pulse, a reminder. Cycle continues. Chapter 38, The Legacy. On the broken earth, the Keepers preserved memories. Stories passed in whispers. Songs of a doomed planet, swallowed by cosmic inevitability. Chapter 39, The Eternal Question. Why did Heoja come? Was it punishment? Or merely cosmic curiosity? No answer. Only the cold silence of space. Chapter 40, The New Beginning. From ashes and darkness, new life began. Not human. Something else. A spark in the void. Waiting. Chapter 41, The Watchers. Eyes unseen watched from beyond the stars. They recorded, waited. Chapter 42, The Cycle Resumes. The black sphere returned. And the universe held its breath once more. Epilogue. The end is just the beginning. Remember us. When the next Heoja arrives, we were here. We fell. And we whispered into the void. The end.